I'm just going to give you a quick briefing overview of what happened. Around 10:27, men and women hear gunshots. We have officers out here. We have different groups of young people or different groups that are out here. They're moving them out of this process. Around 10:27, they hear several gunshots fired. As a result of that gunfire, we have 11 shooting victims. Of those 11, 8 of them are adults. Two of those individuals, a male and a female, have been pronounced. The other 8 are in other 9 are in a stable condition. Of those total 11, 3 of them are juveniles, 15, 16, and 17. And so it's been a challenging day for the men and women. Throughout the different parts of the city, we had groups of individuals, particularly juveniles. This one a little bit different. We have a blend of adults and juveniles. The men and women were here earlier in the day, saw the activity, were moving those, that they were packing up as this incident unfolded. But unfortunately, the individuals continued to engage in gunfire, even though the officers were in the area. And we have a lot of investigation to do. As you can see, it's a very, very large scene. We'll be here until daylight to be able to capture. We have multiple rounds that were fired. So I'll stop there and see if you have any questions.
Commissioner, there was reports of several 911 calls today from people reporting trouble, that there was as many as 900 people here all day. Did you hear anything like that?
Well, listen, this is a very popular area. Going from 33rd Street all the way through. We're going to get a number of individuals. In most cases, those events go safely with no issue. Folks are out in the park every weekend. As you know, we're dealing with juveniles, whether it be at Broad and CB Moore. This one a different blend because we have a large number of adults involved in the event over here. But it's not uncommon for us to have large groups of individuals surge into the park. We deal with those on a regular basis. But at the same token, when an individual decide, you can see how dark it is up there. It's only lit up there now because of our lights up there. Secreting themselves in the park becomes even a greater challenge to identify who's out there and who may be engaged in negative behavior.
While you're still searching, did your folks recover any weapons yet?
We have not recovered any weapons at this point.
Any individuals stopped cooperating with you guys to help?
No, we have no one stopped at this time. Homicide is on location. We'll start going through the process. We expect that we'll start to pick up a lot of information tomorrow as the day unfolds. Today, because we're already in Tuesday. As the day unfolds, we'll start to see things unfold.
The male and female that were pronounced, were they juvenile or adult?
They were adults.
There was a state representative who came by here earlier. I forgot the gentleman's name. He said something about, asked the police about the permit expiring, that it was supposed to expire at a certain time, and individuals were still out here well past that permit expiring.
I don't. We'll go through the investigation, whether they have permits or not permits. We're in the park, right? And so they're going to be folks who are going to say that, hey, the police should have been out here. We're in the park. People come in here. It's Memorial's Day, and so we try to manage the crowds as they unfold. But at the same token, it is a challenge when individuals decide that they're going to fire into a crowd. That's something that we can't anticipate, but we do work hard to try to address the issues as they come underway.
Commissioner, do you believe this was one gunman, or was this kind of an incident of mass hysteria where just people started firing?
We don't know yet. We can hear multiple rounds from stuff that's been already posted on social media. The team will dissect that. We have our team up there. Crime scene is now going through, looking at the shell casings. We'll be able to determine, if it was one weapon or multiple weapons. But it's pretty rapid fire, so we're going to be pretty confident that there probably was a switch on this gun.
There were some videos on social media circulating. I'm assuming you guys will be using that as part of your investigation?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll go through all of the social media stuff that's come after and prior to see if there was anything that we could have missed.
Thank you, sir.
We good?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Police say a fight between two older men in North Philly escalated, ending with one of the men shooting the other. Tonight, the victim, newly retired from the PPA, according to his family, is in critical condition. This is the 10 o'clock news. I'm Sheepa Russell. Police say the victim is 66, the suspected shooter 74 years old. This all happening a few blocks from Temple University Hospital. Our Steve Keeley live outside the hospital tonight where the victim is recovering. Steve.
Yeah, actually, just a few doors from the hospital. And we just got an update from his son, Anthony Oliver Jr., who says his dad is stable. And Anthony just walked over to the hospital. You can see where the hospital is right here. And then Anthony got shot and had his near-death experience right on his front porch here on Park Avenue, just doors from the hospital.
Call of two persons who were fighting, and the caller also added that they were going to be going inside to get some guns. So immediately police officers rushed to this location.
And when they got here, just doors away from Temple University Hospital, they learned the fight was between a 74-year-old man and a 66-year-old man that suddenly escalated to a shooting as police pulled up.
Just as police officers were arriving, one police officer did hear gunshots and immediately rushed to where he heard the gunshots coming from. At that point, he discovered a 66-year-old male shot one time to the head. He was immediately rushed to Temple University Hospital, where he's currently listed in critical condition.
Other police officers quickly grabbed the suspected shooter and his gun.
He is a 74-year-old male. The victim was 66 years of age. So it appears that the motive was some sort of an argument that led to some fighting and ultimately escalated to the use of a gun.
This is 66-year-old Anthony Oliver. His son just told me his dad is in good spirits after being shot in the head, shoulder, and grazed across the chest. Anthony was shot right here on his front porch, and Philadelphia police sources say the neighbor arrested had a small .22 caliber gun, and say doctors have told them the smaller bullets did not do too much damage. And Anthony's family was happy he lives so close to Temple's emergency room and terrific team working there tonight.
We're also looking into whether or not intoxication may have played a role in this conflict between these two persons. It is unusual, and again, the information that we have is that there was some sort of a fight, beginning with words, then getting physical, and then these two parties deciding that they were going to settle it with a gun. Unfortunately.
Well, Anthony was just relaxing on Memorial Day with his neighbor with a couple of Coors Lights at one moment, his family told me, and then something set off the neighbor across the street, who's usually so kind that he brings food over to Anthony Oliver and his family. While here at the hospital across the street, Anthony should fully recover, his family says, with a fresh scar right now, right through his front right cheek on his face where he took one of the bullets. At Temple University Hospital, Steve Keeley, Fox 29 News.
A friend to the family. Fireworks on this holiday. She tells NBC 10 she knows the 66-year-old victim considered a friend to the family.
He looked like he was in a happy mood. I goes in the house and then everything just happened so fast.
Investigators swarmed her block tonight after they say a 74-year-old man shot a neighbor during a confrontation. You can see at least one bullet hole in a window, and officers say they found several shell casings on scene.
It appears that the motive was some sort of an argument that led to some fighting and ultimately escalated to the use of a gun. We're also looking into whether or not intoxication may have played a role.
The 74-year-old was arrested, according to police, and the other man rushed to the hospital right across the street in critical condition. A traumatic ending on this long holiday weekend. Aaron Baskerville, NBC 10 News.
And less than a 10-minute drive away from Aaron's scene, more violence in North Philadelphia. A 50-year-old shot and killed near Wesley High Avenue and North Orkney Street. Police say that shooting happened just after 3:30 this afternoon. According to investigators, video footage appears to show the man fighting with the gunman before the shooting. It remains unclear whether that shooting was an act of self-defense.
Violent Memorial Day weekend in Baltimore. At least 3 people are dead, 4 others shot, including a deadly double shooting just after 1 o'clock this morning.
Another man was shot in his car and later died at the hospital, we're told, as residents nearby say they heard that gunfire in the middle of the night.
We were walking around, heard a couple loud bangs, didn't really think anything of it. And, reality comes to the situation, somebody probably just got shot.
Well, thank you for joining us. I'm Kai Jackson.
And I'm Maxine Stryker. Over the past few years, Baltimore City has experienced spikes in violence on Memorial Day weekend.
And in response, city leaders have increased security, including a larger police presence in areas like the Inner Harbor, Fells Point, even Federal Hill. Now, those efforts include summer juvenile curfew enforcement, which began this weekend.
In a moment, Fox 45's Keith Daniels will look into those curfew policies, but we begin with Fox 45's Vincent Hill and an update on this weekend shootings in Baltimore. Vincent.
That's right, Maxine and Kai. Almost a dozen shootings, 3 people killed, several others injured, and that one resident I spoke with calling the violence an unfortunate reality. The unofficial start of summer, off to a violent start across the city of Baltimore.
It's been a pretty busy weekend with the holiday and all that.
Police investigating 6 shootings that left 7 victims over the holiday weekend, capped off by a double shooting in the first hours of Memorial Day.
13, I got this Sergeant Tanner Lawrence.
Just after 1:30 Monday morning, police were in the area as shots rang out in West Baltimore.
I got 2 down. I got an adult male, and I got an adult female.
A man and woman were shot and killed during a possible drive-by shooting.
Black vehicle discharging.
But the trail of violence across the city started days before.
Because the reality of it is there's always a higher chance something's going to happen.
On Friday, a man was shot and injured in Northeast Baltimore. On Saturday, 3 men were shot in 3 separate shootings in East, Southeast, and North Baltimore. Then Sunday, around 2 in the morning.
Getting the block off Packer Street, go put it in the car, multiple gunshot wounds.
Police find a man shot multiple times inside his car near downtown.
Heard a couple loud bangs, didn't really think anything of it. And, reality comes to the situation, somebody probably just got shot.
Bailey lives near where that shooting happened.
There's always stories about it. You always hear about stuff happening like this, and it's a little jarring when it happens so close.
Police say the victim in that shooting, a 50-year-old man, later died at the hospital. Meanwhile, all the shootings remain unsolved, as violence no longer a surprise to residents.
Kind of the nature of everything these days.
Meanwhile, those 3 homicides now put the city at over 50 homicides for the year, but that's still down 27% from this time last year. Anyone with information on these recent shootings is asked to call Metro Crime Stoppers. For now, we're live in Baltimore. Vincent Hill.
Top of that breaking news in Southeast D.C. That's where we know that 1 person is dead and 2 others injured after a Memorial Day shooting. Thank you for being here with us. I'm Lorenzo Hall.
And I'm Leslie Foster. This happened about 3 hours ago on Savannah Street in Southeast. That's in the Congress Heights neighborhood. Our Rafael Sanchez Cruz is live at D.C. Police Headquarters.
Yeah, and Rafa, we know that you're there because police actually told you to stay away from Savannah Street because this is still an active situation. What more are you learning?
Yeah, Lorenzo, Leslie, want to be fully transparent with our viewers. So we were actually at the scene and we were able to see multiple scenes that were happening all at the same time. There were at least 100 people gathered at one place over on 13th Place, Southeast. And then we were also on Savannah. We took the advice from police and decided to come to police headquarters. We want to show you some of the footage that we were able to capture when we were on scene. And as you mentioned, about 3 hours ago, police say they responded to the multiple scenes and they found 3 people who were injured. Now, police has confirmed that 1 person is dead, and that is we were told that's a man. So 2 men were actually found shot and unconscious inside of an apartment building, and it appears that a 3rd victim was found outside with non-life-threatening injuries. That's what police are telling us right now. At least 2 of the people were transported to an area hospital. We're still waiting to hear an update from police about how they're doing, but as I mentioned, 1 person is confirmed dead. A man is dead following this shooting in Southeast DC. And it's also important to know that DC police has yet to let us know whether they have made any arrests in this case. I can tell you that there were dozens of police officers talking to neighbors, this happening during Memorial Day weekend when a lot of people were having cookouts. So the good news is that there were a lot of people who were able to witness what took place, but the bad news is that innocent bystanders could have been harmed during this entire incident as it was playing out. We were actually able to talk to ANC Commissioner in Ward 8, Salim Adolfo, about this entire incident. He says that just on Thursday they plan to have a public safety meeting because residents are just fed up with the situation that they're dealing with, and we're seeing those crime numbers slowly go up after experiencing a dip in crime last year in DC. This is what Adolfo had to say near the crime scene. Let's listen.
Well, some of the things that we definitely want to see in this community is, increased lighting, keeping the community clean, having activities that we can involve our children in, providing more mental health resources, making sure that we can get our children engaged in constructive activities and ways that we can learn how to resolve conflict without it escalating into a violent situation.
We're obviously heading into, summer crime tends to rise. In terms of public safety beyond, what can the city do in terms to help out the community?
Well, one of the things that we could do is make sure that we get the resources that we need. We know this is budget season, so putting more effort into agencies that can actually help us resolve some of these issues. We know we need the community response team from the Department of Behavioral Health to be here in the community. We got to deal with better housing conditions. We need more economic development in the community. And once we can do these things, we'll start to see our community improve.
Now, I can tell you that emotions were high today, and understandably, again, it's Memorial Day. This is a time where people reflect on those who have served, and again, it's a time where people spend together as a community, and this all playing out. I can tell you that some of the people were visibly upset and were telling us that they, did not want the presence there as this was all panning out. Again, we have one person who's confirmed to be dead. We still don't know how the other two people are doing, but we are told that one of the people that was outside of the apartment complex, those injuries are expected to be non-life threatening. No word on any arrests so far. This is going to be a long investigation. As we're told, there were multiple people arriving to the scene to kind of help piece together this puzzle. It's still unclear what happened that led up to the shooting, but we of course will stay on top of it, and we'll be monitoring all updates from DC police and making those calls to make sure we get some type of answer for this community that is again just very upset by this situation, being interrupted in this way and having to deal with such a horrible tragedy on this Memorial Day weekend.
As a black woman, I'm sick of y'all too.